What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Triangle. This is your boy D.
And it's your girl CJ.
And I'd like to share something personal.
Oh shit.
No, this is gonna be dead ass, but you guys are just so used to laughing at me. Seriously.
Okay, let's
to
go.
share something because I remember when, like, you know how you'll go to counseling and they'll be like, oh, trace back to when you first really started feeling this way, especially when it's like a strong traumatizing event.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a session and I tracked mine back to the game Perfection. That game. Fuck. You remember playing Perfection?
Yes, that shit
blue
fucked
board
my
and
world
all those
up.
yellow pieces and that ticking. It was then I knew I was gonna be fucked up for a long time.
Oh no, that's terrible.
I'm Brandy, by the way.
Just random shit all the time. By the way, Brandy, do you have your phone on airplane mode?
Do I have my phone on airplane mode?
She looked around. I think that might be it. That's the little sound that I'm getting.
Do I have my phone on airplane mode?
Yeah, if you're not on it to record.
But I've never had my phone on airplane.
I know, that's why I think that's what it is. But we'll see.
I did it.
Can't see. Oh no, it's still happening. I don't know what the sound is. It sounds like rain.
Guarantee you, it's somehow, some way D's fault.
Oh, it's raining.
Oh, is it raining?
It's like the sky was black. No, it was. We have a hail warning. So
oh shit! Maybe that's what I'm doing today. It's always D. Little kids, scary kids in the background, fucking doors
slamming doors.
So it's not raining men.
It's not raining men. I'm sorry.
No, it's raining ice right now.
Vanilla ice
in Vegas.
Not vanilla ice. He looks so sad. I met him at the airport once. Well, not really met him. I saw him.
What the fuck was he doing?
I don't know. I was coming back from.
Doesn't he like
Cali.
flip houses now?
Does he? I don't know. He
does something on one of them channels.
I'm sure he does. Oh my God.
I'll tell you what he ain't doing. He ain't rapping.
Oh no. Terrible. Anywho, welcome to episode number 11 today. Yeah. This is going to be our episode our last one before we start our amazing October special that's coming up. We'll tell you a little bit more about it at the end of this one. Today, we're going to kind of talk about friendship and all the crazy things that go along with it, especially because we kind of came along the lines of relationship the last couple weeks and fake people and things like that. I think this was a great topic to go with. So I think we got a lot of feedback. Brandy put together our little data sheet, as she always does, and put all our questions together and whatnot. So the first question was, how long have you guys known each other? 2000, right? Is when we met?
I think around 2000, yeah. So almost 20 years.
Well, no, 2001. Or is it end of 2000? School year 2000. Because I graduated 2000. So it wasn't like the school year of 2000. It was school year of 2001.
But it was the year of 2000.
Yeah, it was the end of the year of 2000.
That's when I got there. There.
Wait a minute. So, but wouldn't we add on like maybe about a year to that? Because you and I were cool about like 2000, but we didn't start fucking with CJ until a little later because she was annoying for a while.
Oh.
So we want to.
You were a little mean. She was
a lot mean. So we may want to extend her out. Don't hide, boo.
I wasn't mean. I was just very within the leadership skills that I was cultivating as a young woman, and sometimes it came out wrong. Look at Brandy and her shades. I mean, it built y'all's character, I think.
You don't sound like an abuser at all. I helped make you better. It built character. Did it make you stronger?
I mean, I come from.
But did you die though?
Yeah, everybody's alive. We doing this together, so something must have worked.
Something worked out.
Something worked out. But yeah, so I guess technically, mine. I met you guys at the end of 2000, but we probably didn't like really start talking till like 2001, and you guys are probably 2000. So like 18, 19 years for both sets.
Wow.
That's almost 2 whole decades. I know. And nothing has changed. I think that's really amazing.
Yeah, nothing has changed at all.
Nothing has really changed other than like we got some serious adulting done most of the time. Sometimes. I don't know.
Sometimes.
I hate adulting. Like,
Me too.
D got called into work today. He was adulting. Brandy probably went to work. And I had a tummy ache, so I sat around today. And like try to make lists of things I needed to do for the rest of the week because I was not recovering. I made dinner. Does that count? Does that?
Yeah, because there's some adults that don't even do that shit.
Man, listen.
Look at Brandy.
I'm like, it's me.
It's me. I'm that adult.
I'm that adult. Like sometimes it's fend for yourself, but you can do that with a preteen. Like, look,
that's true.
I pre-made some shit. There's stuff in there. You get it together.
I definitely do like leftover days, like once a week ish too, because I'm like, because you know I'm Asian and Black. I overcook, so I have like shit ton of food left over later, and I'm like, eat whatever you can find, eat. That's fine. Like that's good.
Fend for yourself.
Anyway, the second part of that question basically was, how did you keep the friendship going so long?
Money.
What did you say?
Said money.
Money? No, not money. You paid us?
Money.
Well, why am I still broke then? I don't understand. I think it has a lot to do with, I know people talk about it sometimes, is being like a military brat or being around all of that. You kind of get used to people going in and out of your life because of PTSDing or whatever. So you tend to stay connected, even if you like only talk to them like once a month or less. Like, I think up until we started this podcast, like pretty much all of us were on like months and months and months of hiatus before we started talking again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like me and Brandy had a little group to send memes to on Instagram.
That's really
awesome. Me and Dee did that, and then we had our own. But like I think like phone call wise, like me and Brandy just started getting on the phone, like starting with the podcast. And Demetrius was like once every 6 months.
Yeah, something. It'd be like once in a blue moon.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely once every Haley's comet. Or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think to answer that question, I think it's because we like kind of tend to, I think we talked about it on another episode, but we tend to stay kind of genuine to ourselves. So I think it works because we don't really pretend to be something we're not, even when we like catch back up, I guess.
Right.
Kind of keep it real. I really do. Because the people who don't, I really don't talk to them. Like,
listen.
Look at her face.
I mean, it's true. It's nice to have that consistency where I don't feel like to be a good friend or to be considered close, you have to talk all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
All the time. I don't believe that at all. But there is something to be said for those people that you do talk to once every few months, or you do see maybe once every few years, and it's like you pick up right where you left off. Like that's real shit.
Right.
Totally easier. Like especially something about like Oki. I don't know. I've seen a lot of groups, a lot of people who like stay in touch once they've been on the rock. I don't know if it has something to do with that or like. Do you guys have a lot of Oki friends?
I have a lot of Oki friends. I think me and Brandy, we have like 138 mutual friends.
Oh Jesus! Oh well, you guys are the same class too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So it's like, we all keep in contact.
Well, considering that we're like 3-4 years apart in class, and I have like 57 of the same mutual friends that you guys do, is something else too.
That's something else too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's like the majority of your friends in your class, we never even attended school with, and I'm friends with a good group of those people too. So it's like, wow.
Well, they'll ask you once they see like, okay, like after I got this influx of followers, which is pretty, girl, I went from like 900 friends to now I'm almost at 3,000. I'm like, what the fuck have I done? But marketing, follow the triangle.
You're welcome.
But someone had slid in the DMs, and the only reason I responded back to him because he was like, wow, you got to be a military brat because when I joined the Marines, I got stationed in Okinawa and blah, blah, blah. So we're able to talk off of that. And I think it was just that gravitating towards not only a military brat, but, we were in the same place. I've noticed with people, it doesn't even matter what year you were there. They're
Oh,
like
yeah.
there, so they'll add you as a friend. So I think there is something to that. But naturally, you're going to be closer to those that you were closer in age to, or in class, or bonded with in some way.
Yeah.
So
Because I think like even when we haven't done it in a while. We used to have class reunions in Vegas, and Dee showed up to a couple of mine, and like nobody even cared. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're from Okie too?" Like
Yep.
everybody's like from Okie once you station there. So weird. Like that's what they said, and like everybody got along pretty well. Like we partied it up together. Nobody really
Yep.
had issues with it. It's a little weird, but I think it's really cool. Yeah. Anything else for how to keep a long relationship going with your friends?
On how to keep it?
Yeah, I think it's just keeping it real. Like,
I was like, have some real friends. There
I
we
think
go.
it's just how, just some real people, and it like has to be authentic, organic. You know what I mean? Can't be forced.
that's the biggest thing. Like,
Yeah, I think it's just you just got to go with the flow. I don't think you could like maintain a friendship. I think it just occurs naturally.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. How do you next question? How do you resolve conflict in a friendship if you do have a conflict with somebody who's your friend?
Bust a motherfucker name out.
You better calm down. Y'all need to
I
calm
know
down.
you niggas don't like me.
Oh.
Hate me.
Oh my God. See, this is why we can't have nice things.
Real talk though, real talk. I think
Yes.
it's just communication. If there's a conflict and if that individual that you're having a conflict with is your friend, I think it should be easier to resolve a conflict with them than it would be anybody else that you have to resolve a conflict with, like whether it be like a coworker,
Right.
That's its own thing. If you're, in the workforce, you're dealing with, say, a customer, you're dealing with a client, that's going to have its challenges. But with a friend, you could just be yourself. You could be honest and organic with that person. There's usually not that much judgment there. So,
oh, Randy begs to differ. Go right ahead, madam.
There shouldn't be. I'm not saying
There we go.
not, but there shouldn't be. Yeah. Okay.
Sure, that high-pitched sound was Brandy, you guys. If you're listening and not watching, it wasn't any of our computers. That was Brandy.
That was her throat. That was definitely her throat.
2,000 more followers right there. Okay.
Yeah, that's the sound you hear. That's the hotness right there. I agree with what he said. There shouldn't be that judgment. But I do know from hearing, some of my guy friends and their experiences seem to be drastically different than female dynamics. So it's like you would like to think there's not this heat, this judgment, clear communication. That don't be it. And what doesn't help what doesn't help when you're the type of person that would prefer to charge at confrontation head on. Like, again, I don't want to start the shit, but I want to resolve it as quickly as possible. So I'm like, what do I got to say? What do I got to do? Who do I got to be? Let's figure this shit out, because I refuse to let it drag on. But I've come in contact with people that they need a minute to kind of deal with stuff. And then it ends up festering, or they may never say anything about it and fester. They end up, holding on to it. And I've seen it happen with women over and over again. And then they throw it back up in the next thing that happens in y'all friendship. And it's like, bitch, I thought we was good with this. What's wrong with you? So I would love for friendships to be how you described, Dimitri.
I think women have
that's not the case.
Women have this upbringing most of the time, especially like old school women. Like how they raised us is like for us not to be so loud and confrontational. And I think that's why a lot of women don't come up, in the beginning when something does happen, or they beat around the bushes. Like they're not they're not like legit telling you what the issue is. And I've had to call people and be like, hey, is there like a problem? Like,
why?
I didn't know there was, but you're not fixing to beat around the bushes with me because you're supposed to be my friend. Just tell me what the fuck is bothering you. Like, I'm not going to be mad because if I didn't notice, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I knew it was going to bother you and doing it on purpose, then I'm just a bitch. But if I'm telling you that I didn't fucking know that it was going to bother you or upset you and I did it, but you like, oh, I heard you, blah, blah, blah with so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, but why is that a problem? Like, you're not going to tell me that it hurt your feelings or you felt left out or you were jealous or whatever. I can't fix the issue. I can't
some
fix
of
the
people
issue.
just be like reactive, and then you'll pick up on it because you notice, hey, your pattern is different. And it's not different in the sense of, oh, you're tired or you're working more or whatever. You're feeling this petty negative energy from the person, and it's like, what's going on with you?
Yep.
And then somehow, some way, it makes it worse when you call them out, and not even calling them out trying to make them feel bad, but being like, hey, what's the problem so we can fix it? Then they either act ignorant or somehow, some way,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Well,
I know what you mean.
That's the thing. Like, so part of that is like what happens with that. People start getting jealous or they start hating on you or whatever. And that kind of goes into I have this thing that I think that some of my friends, not all of them, but some are my frenemies. I can tell, at least I think so, because I'm like, if I'm doing well and you're not pushing through for me or gassing me up, like, I'm pretty sure that you're just friends with me, just like from afar, looking at what I'm doing and wondering why I'm succeeding or whatever. That's cool. You keep your distance and hold on to all of that, because I have my tribe that like does what I do for them and they do for me, and it's not like even a give and take. It's just mutual understanding that if we lift each other up, then we'll all be in the same place winning. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't think some of our friends are built that way. Like, I feel
So
like
do you think that comes like from people thinking it's not enough for everybody? So they look at it as like a competition?
So like the whole thing about, you know, even if it's like some, like, what's a good example? Let's say you wanted to be a makeup artist and like people are like, it's saturated, the market is saturated. Okay, but your style might be completely different from what's in the market and trending. So you have enough like skill and like mindset to go for it. You should go for it, because the niche or the people who are looking for your shit is not the one looking for the other shit. Like, you always have your own area. And like fashion, for me, like people are like, oh, stylists, there's so many stylists. Yes, also it's a $325 billion industry. I think I can take a chunk of that. I'm good. Like, if people don't see the big picture, they always see what's in front of them. And that's same thing with what you're saying with the friendship. They're like, I don't think it's enough that you're my friend. If you're somebody else's friend, then how are we going to be friends? Like, I know there's one of me, but also I can spread the love. Like, I don't understand what the problem is.
Not gonna lie, I used to be that crazy when I was younger, and it would no, I did. It would kind of be like, if you're my friend, you're my friend. Don't start with this bullshit.
Oh, for real?
But oh yeah, if I consider you like if you were like the upper echelon of friends, and it's like you're my best friend, it's like, okay, then we ride out. But as soon as you start doing that bullshit where it's like, oh, who's this? Well, that's my best friend. Well, that's impossible.
I'm your best friend.
Your best friend. So how is this
like, okay, so like for a good example for that is that I feel like I have a lot of best friends. Like, just because I've moved around a lot too. Once I graduated, I've also spent so much time in one place that I cultivated friendships in the places that I was there for a long time also. And so I'm getting married next year, and I was having the hardest time thinking about how to choose a maid of honor. Like, you know what I mean? And I actually posted that question on Facebook, and I got great answers back. And one of them was like, you know, is there like somebody you would trust? Like, and it's still hard, because I like thought of 3 people when I heard this question proposed to me. She was like, is there somebody you would trust with your kids if something happened to you and Rob, God forbid? And like, is there somebody you would like do anything for? Like, if they called you right now, would you drop and drive over or fly to them? And that only left me like 2-3 choices. You know what I mean? So like, I understand that you can have a bunch of best friends, but also I think there's also like a deeper level for all of your friendships. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
So like, I may have like 10 girlfriends that are like my aces, that I call my aces, but within that ace situation, I know there's like 3 or 4 of them that are like hella reliable more than the others, not because of the person that they are, but because of their life situation. I guess I should have made that clear. Like, because of their life situation.
Well,
like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if they all had the same life situation, like good money coming in, or like, you know, whatever, like steady like environment around them, all 10 of them would be the girls I would go to. But since that's not the case, that kind of like made it easier for me to figure out. Like, I don't know, best having
I told
like
you it would have been way easier had you just chose me, but fuck me.
nigga, you all the way in Ohio. See, you already got eliminated.
She's playing games.
Well, that was
Like,
one of
I
the
didn't
criteria.
It was such a hard choice. Oh, okay. All right. Anyway.
This nigga didn't even know she was gonna be my wedding. I don't know.
Right. I didn't even know. I was like, what you mean I'm gonna be in a wedding? Well, now that I know I'm in, I don't want to be all the way in. But I feel what you're saying about having like a plethora of aces and everybody having their strengths, and even calling back to what you and Dee were just talking about with there's going to be an avenue for you and you're going to find your audience. And I feel like as soon as you do have something, I almost feel like it's not your friend's job to do the work for you or with you, but I do feel like it should be a natural reaction to want to support and push you and not immediately come with kind of negative stuff about whatever you're trying to get into, but like, hey, I support you, or just listening to you. And now that I am an adult, I definitely feel like I've had to expand my minds on like, hey, you can have more than one best friend. 21-year-old me used to think that was crazy. 13-year-old me thought it was blasphemous. But now I'm like, yeah, I got somebody for everything, especially when their lifestyles are different. I'll tell you. That's
the thing.
There's a single mom tip. Write this down, single mom, single parents. You always want to have somebody on deck who does not have kids, who's doing better than you with kids now, because it's a different ballgame when you're parenting more than one. I'm doing the single mom thing with the one child. And it's not that it's not difficult, but them single moms with multiple kids, it's some other shit. So if you can find one and she or he got they self together,
girl,
and then the friendship's genuine, because you don't want to be using nobody. But it's just nice to have those different dynamics there. That way, when you do need a push spiritually, financially, mentally, whatever, it's an iron sharpening iron thing.
Yeah.
Because you're deciding, okay, a best friend doesn't have to fit this mold. I don't have to, a best friend qualifications ain't what it used to be before. That shit just drastically changed.
When you're an adult, it's completely different.
Different ballgame.
I mean, you still need your single friends too to push you to have like a relaxed time. I feel like that's important too, because I think that when you do become a parent, you kind of most parents get cooped up in their parenting world a lot of times, because you end up putting your children first, your family first, or whatever. And when I talk to women that I help style and stuff, I'm like, a lot of women forget that they're women first. And like that does get pushed to the back burner. So it's nice to have a couple single men in your life to like look at D to keep you like about like I can't wait till D like we all go visit D in Vegas, because we gonna party it up when we go see him. Like you need that.
He come out of hiding, the few times I've been.
A nigga, we gonna go find his ass.
Hard to track him down.
We know where he work. We just he gotta go to work. That's one thing he will do is go to work.
I'm going to work. I ain't missing work and shit.
I'm gonna put him on blast while we're recording now. Am I seeing you in December?
You see me in December.
Am I seeing you in December?
For what?
I think he thought maybe you were joking when you said that. She wasn't joking.
Totally was not.
And about what?
Going to visit her in Ohio.
In December?
Yeah.
You definitely said you were going to.
Oh, well, I will now. Sure. Let me check it.
What a perfect conversation for friendship. Like
Demetrius literally gave me that side chick treatment. For what? What you for what?
What you mean Christmas?
You don't get the holidays this year, girl. Fall back.
What's going on in Ohio? I know you live there, but like, what's going on? Why?
For what else? Why? For what?
For what? Terrible.
For what?
Terrible. I swear.
I'm down.
See? Well, while y'all do that, because I have to save for a wedding that's coming up, let me know. Just I guess record. Maybe you'll be there.
We'll FaceTime you when we get there.
FaceTime me. We can record some shit together and do some stuff. I don't know that we want to record a episode while you're there, though. That would be scary as fuck for me.
Oh no, it's gonna be awesome.
You guys in the same room? Absolutely.
I'm just gonna do one. Just one long one.
Want to just slice it.
Right.
Please put your tiger claws down. I can't stand neither one of y'all. Next question before we get caught up in random conversations. What do you do if you're, this kind of goes back to what we were just saying. What do you do if you think your friend is jealous or hating on you? Like, what do you do though, I guess, if you figure that out?
Bust the motherfucker in the mouth.
Stop telling people to bust them upside their mouth. Stop it. God.
Get on my level. Get on my level.
Well, you know what? There is a such thing as healthy competition. Especially
I believe
if
in
you're both
it.
going toward a goal, same goal, or not even necessarily the same goal. It could be different goals, but as long as it's healthy and you're pushing each other so you both can succeed, I don't think there's a problem.
But do you think, what do you do when they're jealous though, like, or hating though?
You gotta leave them motherfuckers alone.
Yeah.
You completely. I think
so.
You cut off all the way. You don't try to mend and.
Oh, I destroys relationships. I don't give a fuck. If I feel like I'm in danger, or I feel like you're so jealous to where you would like throw me under a bus or
sabotage.
Sabotage me in any sort of way. I gotta let y'all ass go. And I gotta go.
What do you do, Brandy? Do you like try to talk it out?
I do, because clearly I have a problem talking. I try to be like, hey, what's going on? What did I do? You know, because I'm quick to take blame, which is pro and con.
Yeah, you got to fix that. Don't do that.
I know. I only do it because it's easier to control me. So it's kind of like, okay, if I take it on me, I can control the situation. That ain't how that shit works.
So, like, what if you
talk it out and it's not, sometimes it is just that person. The few times I have talked it out, like, I'm not gonna say her name, but if she does listen to this, she knows who she is.
That's fine. Nobody else will.
Shit.
We're still close, but we're close because when we do clash, we're both okay having it out in that moment, and then we're fine.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we literally had moments where I know she was fucked up, and she was letting me have it, and I was sitting there like, okay. Because I wasn't expecting it, but I also know, in a weird way, as forceful as she was coming at me, I knew it was still coming from a place of love.
Right.
Like, this is still my homegirl.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? She's dealing with her own shit, and I know how I get down sometimes. So some of the stuff she was saying was true, right?
Gotcha.
And the other way around. Sometimes I got to tear her a new one, and she don't do nothing but take it.
Well, that's good. That means that you guys have somewhat of a self-awareness, and that's why you can handle it. But
there was a guy I was seeing, and she thought, to wrap that story up real quick, she felt a way that I was seeing him, and I didn't realize, this was when I first moved to Ohio, I didn't realize that was somebody she was interested in from a while back. And so
shit. The boy is mine.
Not yours, girl.
Stop.
He wasn't nobody's, really. He was for everybody. But anyway, we were casually dating. It wasn't even nothing serious, like, it's my man or whatever. But it was like, you want to pick me up, spend money, whatever. And then I realized the more we were seeing each other, the more she would just say, like, petty shit. Ooh. And it would be like petty shit that was like a no-brainer. Because if anybody's dating me, you know I'm wearing wigs and weaves or whatever, because my hair's always changing. I remember one time she was like, oh, does so-and-so know you wear wigs? And I was like, if he didn't, are you okay? Like, what's going on?
That's super.
Like, Fat Mac, bitch, Fatter Mac, he bought this motherfucker that I'm wearing right now, bitch. He helped me lay the plates right here.
I can see why D like destroys his relationships when there is jealousy involved.
I mean, but it took a family member of hers letting her know she was nasty acting, but she came back to me without me confronting her to apologize.
Oh, that's good.
Because she knew she was, in the wrong and acting stupid. But saying all that to say, I don't mind giving people the chance to talk it out, figure it out, whether it's jealousy or we yelled at each other, whatever. Like, you're human, so we can talk it out. But if it's like consistent after that, that's probably like the need.
It's when it's consistent. You gotta nip that shit in the butt.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. So, what if you talk it out and it doesn't work, and they keep doing what they're doing? Do you let them go?
I ain't gonna lie. I keep trying to talk.
Why? That's so crazy. Like, you know what my deal is? Like, if I don't, I'm a mixture of both of y'all, I think. Like, I'll try to talk it out like one time, maybe twice if you're lucky and I love you a lot. And if they keep doing it, I'm gonna treat you like you deserve to be treated, which means like I'm gonna call you if I feel like it and I'm bored. or like I'll answer your phone call and I might listen to you, but I might cut you short because I really don't got too much to say to you because you've been like real shady and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Shadier than a motherfucking oak tree. I know exactly what you're talking about. You a weeping willow, bitch. Weeping fucking willow. Hella shade. You provide lots and lots of shade.
not hella
I
shade.
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, don't ruin my willow. I
Weeping
love willow
willow.
trees. Why she got a fan? I'm about to go get mine. I can't.
You about to go? I got this from Afro Punk because I'm that girl
Oh my
that
god,
travels and
I
goes to festivals.
And
know. So in conclusion, like basically
yeah.
like people, I mean, I guess it depends on what your personality type is when it comes to that, because if you can
Yeah.
handle being around that person knowing that they don't like you, Brandy, you be
Well,
okay.
no, that's different. No, it's different when you say no and they don't like you. Because to be fair, a
Right.
lot of motherfuckers don't like me.
I mean, so that's the thing. That's
Be
why I'm
fair.
like, I'm quality over quantity as I progress in age, even more than I was in my like mid to late 20s. I was like, oh, I'm cutting back on my friends now. I'm like, I've cut back on the people that I trust and hang out with even more, especially after having my family. Like, I don't
Yeah.
have time to like be in drama or be associated with it. So I just kind of,
I think I let the people that have been like the three of us ever gotten some bullshit outside of blaming you, CJ. I would try to talk and hear everyone out of respect for like the time spent in the friendship,
right.
like who the person is. So me wanting to talk it out and hear someone out, that's not extended to everybody, because there's some people where I'm
Gotcha.
like, you don't ever have to.
it's not even worth it.
It's not, and y'all know some of the people where I've been like, we just won't talk. Like, that's cool,
and that's okay.
And that's fine. Or like you were saying, if something does keep going, and I have talked to you about it, and I just now got to the place you're talking about, CJ, where I'm like, I'm not going to be explaining myself over and over again to anybody, like friends, family, or romantic, whatever, when I've already let you know through words and actions, hey, this is kind of rubbed me the wrong way, or how can I help with this, because it seems like you're upset with me. But if you keep doing that shit and it keeps being disrespectful, I now, and this can segue into that other question the girl asked, I ghost in a sense. I'm like, I'm not even going to explain to you why I'm doing what I'm doing. You're just going to feel this shit. Clearly, I've talked to you already, and I'm not the type of person to do something and there was no warning about it. As much as I talk, you had a verbal warning. You probably had about 2 or 3 of those motherfuckers, and you still decided to come out of pocket. And I got a friend like that right now. She probably won't listen to this, maybe she will, but we went from talking every day for years and years and years to I felt like she was out of pocket with something she said earlier in the year, and then it didn't help. I was already going through a lot with the breakup and everything else.
Right.
And I appreciate how she came at me, because I'm like, there's bigger fish to fry. And I would think, because of the time we've had in this relationship over 20 years, I'm your kid's godmom.
Right.
Like, I would have expected a bit more respect in how she came at me. And that's how I looked at it. I was like, she don't respect me. And we literally talk only through like maybe her sharing memes or me responding back to text, but we have not talked on the phone since. And I have to do that for myself, because I'm like, you got a lot of stuff going on. So do I. And I don't have it in me to explain to you, as someone that was supposed to be not just a friend, like looking at you like family. Some friends you put on that pedestal where it's like you feel like they family.
Right.
Like the least you could have done was communicate with me better. Yeah. Or take a step back and be like, damn, we ain't talked in a couple of months. I wonder if I said something out of pocket. You know what I mean? Like, I don't run into that.
I feel you on that one.
Self-check, and they're like, maybe
it
was
me.
Something I did.
I ran into something like that. I wouldn't say recently. It was a few years ago, but it's somebody, an Okie person. An Okie person that lives here. Or I'm not sure if they even live here, because we don't talk anymore. But an Okie person that I was really cool with, and I would always invite over, because we first, I guess we moved to Vegas around the same time. So we spent a lot of time together during that, that period of time. But then, of course, we got different jobs, and we finally started, because we were teenagers at first. So we started working and kind of went our separate ways, but still trying to maintain some type of like a rapport with one another.
Right.
So I would call this individual up like, hey, I'm having like a get together at my house. And there was a period in time when I was like between the ages like 22 and I want to say like 26, where I was a hot ass mess and I was throwing a shindig at my house every
all
weekend.
the time.
At least, I want to say at least 3 times a week.
Yes,
it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. So it would turn into, I can't make it. I can't come, I'm busy. And I'm just like, okay, life happens, it's cool. But I always wanted to make sure that individual knew that you always had the option of coming through.
Right.
Even though I have all these new friends that I've made, living here in Vegas, you're more than welcome. But it was, excuse after excuse, and I didn't think anything of it until my roommate approached me and was like, hey, so I met this girl at the club, and she said she's gonna be, like we hit it off, and she said she's gonna come through or whatever. But when I went and added her to Facebook, you popped up as a mutual friend. How do you know this person? And I was like, oh, she's coming over here? He was like, yeah, she's gonna come kick it. I was like, oh, that's fucking crazy, because every fucking time I invite this individual over, it's always, I can't make it, I'm busy with work, I'm having my kid,
that's
or, it's always something crazy. So I'm like, that's really weird. So I don't think she knew that I was his roommate.
Yeah, probably not.
And then I'm in the garage playing beer pong. I'm in the garage playing beer pong with my cousin and a friend of mine. And then the car pulls up with this individual in the car. And I'm like, what the fuck? Really? So this person really came over. This shit is crazy. So then I'm the wave, and she doesn't want to wave back. She's like,
did she like ignore you?
And then she kind of hesitated. And then she finally was like,
was she trying to live a fake life like a few other people we know?
I think that's what it was. I think.
Ready?
Yeah, I really think that's what it was.
You know what? We talked about people falling off the face of this earth. Like, I won't say his full name, like Jay, last name U.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot. That
right, like he disappeared. I mean.
Oh no! Every few months you have to remember he existed just for the laughs.
Just like, I mean, he was doing well. I was actually following him on social media. He had either started his own studio or was part of a dance studio, and he was teaching. And I was like, he's doing great. Like, I don't even think we like talked to him that often. It was just like liking pictures, like, oh shit, he's dancing still, that's awesome, and shit like that. Same with the other one, like his ex, who's all over our social media, who pretends that she was part of something she wasn't, like, and so people and if she's listening and she hears, she could come and talk to me anytime she wants to, because you know who I am. You know who I am. Like, if you got a problem,
you know where I'm at.
Here's the thing. Like, I love Jay-Z more than Beyonce, maybe, because I feel like he says some shit. Like, I was watching one of his interviews a long time ago, and he had said something along the lines of, people think I'm stuck up because I don't talk to them the way they want me to talk to them. It's because I don't want to waste my breath talking about stupid shit that's wasting my time. Like, I feel that. I felt that too. I feel it.
That shit.
Because I don't, like, unfortunately, I'm not into like watching reality shows because of the same reason. That's not my thing. Like,
not even Jersey Shore.
I used to when I was I used to when I was younger, but
guilty pleasure.
My mentality has changed for those things. Like, I really don't watch TV in general. If I do have the TV on, like, it's background noise.
Not even Family Feud?
Nigga, Family Feud, my mom loves the shit out of it. Like, so when I go to my mom's, it's on, so I catch a couple episodes. Like, but like, for me,
never watch just one episode. You have to like watch 6 in a row.
I mean, yeah, she has it on for like 3 hours straight. But like, for me, like, even with like Stranger Things, because I love it, but I'm only on like episode 4 of season 3. Like, it's been out, everybody's done with it. You know what I mean? Like, or
I'm on episode 3, season 1.
Oh, see, but like, or like, I just started watching Sabrina the Teenage Witch, the grim one, the one from
the one with your witch friends.
Yeah, with my witch friends on it and wizards, and the grim version on
Netflix. Like the new one.
Yeah, the new one.
Oh, I was like, you.
No, not the old one. Not with Melissa Joan Hart or whatever her name is. No.
I'm gonna leave Harvey and Sabrina alone.
can't. But like it's all right. It's good. But then I just hope it doesn't get like Riverdale. I started watching Riverdale and I was tired after like 8 episodes. Like
we are off task.
what I was trying to get to. What was I trying to get to?
And you know it's bad when I have to say we're off task.
What I was trying to say is that what Jay-Z was saying, I don't like wasting time talking about shit that has no positive impact on my life. Or I try not to. No, don't get me wrong. I love a good gossip tea day with my girls and like D or whatever, like who wants to listen. I have those days, but it's not as often as it used to be. Let me put it that way. It might be like if I have something going on, of course I want to like vent to somebody so I can get off my chest, but it's not 3-hour session of like nagging about the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or putting other people down in the process.
Right. And so the like if going back to what Brandy was saying, like if I have people who are in my life that I feel like they should be supporting me but they don't, I don't get upset anymore. I just know where they stand in my life, so I treat them accordingly.
Oh yes,
you know what I mean. So I have moved on past getting upset over stupid shit, because I also have like I'm still working on it, but my biggest thing this year is to have empathy for people who are not in my shoes. So even if they're not supporting me, I have to remember that they might be having some shit going down in their lives that they can't be bothered with my shit. Nobody actually cares about your stuff unless you're Jay-Z or Beyonce. You know what I'm saying? So like to understand that part of it makes it a lot easier to not cut off per se your friendship with people, but being able to be okay with the distance that happens. Look at D just snip. And which is why my motto is moving on without waiting on. You just do your thing.
You know, when you said that to me, a bitch has been gone all summer. I was like,
what you say? A world tour? Miss Blocker on world tour.
Miss Blocker on world tour. I'm like, no, I'm rolling out. And even when it's just around Cleveland, I'm like, I'm going to this restaurant. I'm going to this place for brunch. I'm going to plan this, and whoever comes. If they don't, I'm still going. Mm-hmm. And then, like you were saying before, being okay with the distance and not taking it so personal. Because I would get so sensitive about things, especially within friendships. And, you know, next thing you know, you're turning on you. Like, is this person, like, doing this because of something I did? Or they don't like me like that anymore? Or what's going on? When you don't have a clear answer, you start making up your own.
You gotta stop.
That's what I did with this individual here in Vegas.
You gotta be more confident in like my rule of thumb is if I know in my own being that I didn't do anything nasty to them, I know I didn't lie, cheat, or do anything crazy to them, it's all on them. I mean, there's no reason for me to be like, what did I do? Like, I know what I did. Like, and if you think what I did is like faulty, then you should tell me to my face instead of like coming through the bushes and shit all sideways.
But when you have unhealthy tendencies of trying to mend relationships, like I've noticed this year that I have, I do it in romantic relationships and in friendships where it's like, even if I know it's not on me, I'll make it on me.
Girl.
Like, okay. What could have I done better? And when you think like that, as bad as that is, but I know somebody else out there listening is probably going through it too, or knows somebody.
That's true.
You think like that within friendships too. You'll be like, man, I know so-and-so slapped me in the face, but did I say something last winter to deserve it? Is there something they're going through?
Is it because I overcooked the roast?
No.
Yeah, because I overcooked.
You know what though? Quick story time. Like I have a friend that's a really good friend, and you'll meet her at the wedding because she's going to be one of my bridesmaids. But her roommate that she's leaving right now in the process of have like destroyed her like well-being in the last few months. Like they were supposed. So the girl. So I'm just gonna call her A and the other girl B. A is my friend. B is the girl who's the roommate, and
B stands for bitch.
That's easy. A for ace, B for bitch. There you go. And then C is for B's crazy fucking fiance.
I was about to say something else.
Definitely was about to say something.
What was it? C-U-N-T? Yeah.
I was gonna say something cunty.
Yeah, cunty. I mean, he can be. I don't know. But anyway, so the long story short, like both A and B worked for me. I had employed them, and that's how I know them. And B and C had bought a house, and A needed a place, so they invited her to be their roommate. and things were going okay, but then it started getting a little crazy because B gets jealous about everything that A does, basically. I'm talking like me and A went to a trip a couple weekends ago, and she was like trying to like pry to see where the fuck she was going, who she was going with, and why she wasn't invited, and shit like that. Like it wasn't something she
We
wanted to
sure she
do.
don't like her,
No, I don't think so because she has issues with friendships in general. She has lost a lot of friends, a lot of family
She's very
members.
possessive.
She's
That's
crazy.
Lifetime
I'm
movie shit,
telling you,
girl.
she's crazy to the point where, like, I think this past weekend they were going out of town for C's sister's wedding, and they had asked A if their friend could come and watch the dogs or whatever. And A was like, well, I thought I was going to have the house to myself. I was going to chill because she has been like really stressed about them being like real cunty to her, to put it nicely. And so she was like, I'll even watch the dogs. I'd rather just like do it myself than have somebody in the house that I barely know and making me uncomfortable. And after she told them that, they got so upset that they served her papers to move out in 30 days because they didn't get it. They didn't do, like, I guess she didn't do what they wanted her to do, or was thinking that she like was extreme by like saying no, like pushing back. Like it's been continuous. Like it's been crazy where she would like say things about other friends to her, but then bring that friend over. So like the girl who came over to watch her dog is supposed to be her maid of honor, B's maid of honor. And but at the same time, that same girl, she had talked about like having a tacky wedding. She was like, I don't like her style, I don't like her, blah blah blah. I was like, that is insane. But y'all are like, she like tries to still be friends with all the people she talks about, like, and she's not young, she's like in her late 20s, so she's not like a baby.
Oh yeah, that type of behavior doesn't have an age.
Right, but here's the thing, like she's like this with everyone. She had told my friend A that after her parents pay for her wedding, that they're gonna cut ties almost. She doesn't want anything to do with her step parents. She's like, I'm just doing this so they can pay for it. And to top this off, my favorite part is how she talks about her fiance, who's her husband to be. She would go out with A,
right?
Yeah, her fiance C. She would go out with my friend A and be like, you know, they'd be at a restaurant, like a little alternative place, and be like, oh, I wish C would dress like that. I wish C had more tattoos like that. He's not very attractive. Like, I was like, wait, so like she's just this person to everyone, friends, family, people to be. So you do have crazy people like that. That was my point of the story. There are crazy ass people like that. That's why it's so important to be able to like distinguish between you being the reason, or if that other person really is just cunty and like crazy. And like we're gonna get so many like people like, don't use the C word. Like I rarely do.
No, because people out here calling people niggas with a hard R.
That's what I'm saying. It's N words dropped that day, F bombs.
Yeah, I agree. But people, you know, it's like the word moist. What was it? What was yours? Yours is fresh, and then D's fresh is pamphlets.
Pamphlet and certificate. I don't like those.
What? Certificate?
That's weird. I don't like it.
I don't think I have a word, you guys. I don't think I have a word.
D and I have had words we've hated since high school.
Like
we would write them in
14.
You remember when you would write in books and like give them to each other, or you had to write your name and information beginning book? D and I used to like write in the books or in the brown paper they'd have you cover the book in, and we'd write the words that we hated.
You guys are weird.
Just pass.
Your friendship is weird.
You know what the word I hated in Japanese?
What?
Gyunyu. Grosses me the fuck out.
You don't like gyunyu? It just means milk.
I don't like
milk is gross.
Milk is fucking gross. No, stop.
Gyunyu.
No.
Oh, no. Here's another one. Coily.
That is
coily?
Coily. You be ashamed of yourself.
Oh my god.
Coily.
I don't have a word, you guys. I have words that I love. Like in French, I love pamplemousse. And
that one rolls well. I like that one.
And also I love renard. That's my other favorite word.
That
That's
sounds
somebody's
like
name.
food. What is it?
Pamplemousse is grapefruit, and
Whoa.
renard is fox. I just like the way it
Oh.
sounds. Look at
Renard.
Betty.
My dumb ass was like, I thought it was food. It's a fox.
I thought it was
I mean-
somebody named Renard.
I hate y'all. Well, let me move on. I just wanted to share that story because it's recent. Like, my friend A is moving out. Like, as we speak, she's clearing out her place because those cunty ass people are crazy.
So let me get this shit straight. So they
Yes.
want somebody to dog sit at a place where somebody already gonna be at.
Yeah, and she pays rent, and she was asking them to, like, you know, be like, hey, like, I'd rather just do it myself if you're gonna invite somebody who I don't know. I think they were doing it to watch over her. I don't know why. And by the way, my friend A loves animals. Like, she has a rabbit. Like, she loves animals. She's also vegan. Like,
Okay.
So she really loves animals.
She
don't
loves
eat them or nothing.
animals.
You love animals
like,
for
if
real.
I had
Damn.
pets, if I had multiple pets, and I was like, if I need one person I could pay to watch, like, my own farm, I would bring her and make her watch it. Like,
'Cause she looks at pigs and she's like, "Those are my friends." She don't see like delicious meat like I do. Pork belly.
is
Not like you do.
no, she's like
Shoulder.
hardcore. She's like really truly vegan. Like, she doesn't even eat honey. Like, she's a real vegan.
She doesn't even eat honey.
Yeah.
Oh
real-
no, those vegans do not eat
You're not
honey.
supposed to eat honey.
And
Why? What
because
the
they
fuck
belong
did
to the
honey do
bees.
you?
They belong to the bees. They
Look,
work
we can
hard
have a
for it.
whole health segment later. 'Cause that's the whole
So it's
conversation.
because they feel like they're violating the bee by eating honey.
My timer went off to let us
I
know.
know.
guys.
I was like, let me get back to my list.
Okay, sorry.
Anyway,
sorry,
let's see.
sorry.
We were there. Oh, we kind of talked about that. Ooh, have you ever got into a physical fight with your friends?
Yes,
Ooh, guys.
Still.
but
Yeah?
it's different because I noticed, like, especially when I was younger, like middle school,
Mhm.
sometimes I would hate somebody and then I would get in a physical fight with them and then we were like really best friends after that.
Guys do that a lot. I've seen
Yeah.
that in
Guys are
grown-up,
great.
Yeah.
grown-up situations. And
And as an adult, no, I've never been in a
Okay.
physical fight with a friend as an
I
adult.
think I've gotten into physical fights with people who I wouldn't consider my friends anymore. Like, like it was in
That's
middle.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, in middle school-ish. I don't think I went past that because after middle school, guys get stronger. So as a female, I really didn't need to be starting fights with them. But up until middle school, I've thrown, like, you know, in Oki, like when you go to Oki parks, instead of like soft rubber mats, they put sand down. So if you fall, it doesn't
Yeah.
hurt as much. Like, I remember like judo throwing some boy like over my fucking shoulder because we were in a fight. It was like 3-5 or some shit. Like, it's happened. It's right by my grandma's house at the park. Like,
Funny at grandma's house, so ghetto.
I don't see Brandy getting physically like into an
I
altercation.
remember
Have
it was
you?
It was a situation where somebody said some crazy shit to Brandy, and the way Brandy responded is what had me dying laughing because it was so
What did she say?
I was so outside of what somebody would say in a heated situation, and I think it scared the fuck out of the other person.
Oh,
I'm not
no.
gonna name her name.
What'd she say though? I'm curious now.
She was sick because it was around the time when Brandy
She said, I
glowed
don't
up.
remember.
Brandy glowed up, and she was like starting a lot of shit, not intentionally. I think just because people were jealous. And somebody said some shit, and somebody said something about like, "Yeah, I'll whoop her ass" or something like that.
Right.
What did they say? It was Brandy. All I remember is Brandy's response was like, "Why? So you can lose?" And the other person had nothing to say. They were just like, "What?
Why? So you can lose? God damn, Brandy."
That's what she said. Why? So you can lose? And then they were just like, well, huh? And then Brandy was just like,
I'm gonna start saying that.
she was just waiting, like.
That's gotta come from my mom because
Probably.
That was the funniest shit. And everybody was just like taken aback because that's not the response you used to hear. We were ready for like
I
her to
think
snatch her
at
wig off and
that
be
age-
top of shit. She was like, why
Listen.
this? See this?
It was
Because you know I can
very,
beat your ass, right?
yeah. Oh my god. D's impression of me is first of all spot on.
Spot on. Spot on.
Spot on. I joke about this with my best friend up here in Ohio. Shout out to Candace. I am definitely a person where I'm like, I'm careful about physical shit anyway, because I think old school, I'm like, we're gonna have to do this to the death. Because if we don't, listen,
Because
hear
it was
me
so
out.
matter of fact.
Are you a fucking gladiator?
Yeah.
That's what
me
it
out.
seems like.
Hear me out. As an adult, this gonna make sense. I'm gonna sell you on this. I got 6 minutes. I'm gonna sell you.
Okay.
Okay, so boom. I'm an adult, or even when you are in high school, right? All the stuff would do is go back and forth. That's why back in the day and everything else, people will wipe out whole families. I have to, because your folks are going to come for me and mine if I
You gotta clear the bloodline. You have to make sure the bloodline is.
You know what?
To me, that makes sense. So if I say that to say this, not that I would ever really kill someone unless it was like self.
I would.
Whatever.
Indeed. Note to self: don't fucking piss off the tigers.
We'll take turns.
Yeah, don't piss off the tigers. But I feel like, hey, if it gets to the point with a friend or anybody else where you feel like you have to put your hands on me, I have to. I mean, I almost took my ex out the game for that mess, let alone a friend.
Out the game.
I told him
red
that
card.
Too.
You was about to red card that motherfucker.
I told him. I said, you don't know. I was like, there was twice where that really could have been a wrap for you, just because there was like physical abuse going on. But with a friend, I've never gotten to a physical altercation with a friend. But to be fair, I think you bitches know better. So
I agree with that. I have actually been slapped by 2 of my friends. Like
they live to tell the tale.
They live to tell the story. Well, here's my thing.
How old were you?
Adulthood, both times, pretty much.
Oh, fucking shit. Are you serious?
One of the persons that slapped me got upset because I was talking to her nephew, kind of. Dee knows who this is. I'll tell you if you don't remember.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I think she was really drunk, which is why I let it slide. And
you let it slide a little bit?
I did a little bit because, you
didn't choke her or nothing? Just
I understood where she was coming from. That was my grown-ass self. That's why I didn't turn into
way too grown.
Physical altercation.
I don't know that version of myself.
And both times the other person have been drunk. And, like, I know that if I start a fight... Here's the thing. I took martial arts. Not saying that I'm like super strong or super crazy about it, but one of the things that I learned is that if you know for sure that if you're going to get into a fight and that person is going to die if you fight them, like
that's fair.
I can't lift my arms, legs to them because both of the people who slapped me were tiny. Like they were tiny. And did it hurt? Did it actually physically hurt me? No, it almost felt like one of those securities getting punched in the face by some girl at the bar because she was too drunk. Like both times. You know, does that make sense? Like
fuck that shit, CJ. You should have rocked those.
You should have, yeah.
You should have rocked them bitches.
You should have slid that ass.
Well, there was one time.
They better not be at this wedding either, bitch. Let them be at this wedding.
Well, they both will be at the wedding. We are actually best friends. Look at Brandy. But here, there's
so you just
like
let your best friend put your ass,
there's other things that came with it. The stories behind it make it legit, is what I'm trying to say. And I think the only time I even considered fighting as an adult, but I kind of laughed it off, was when I was in Nebraska. One of the guys' places, they were having a party, and I guess I was talking to this dude, and his ex-girlfriend showed up. Tiny little thing, and she was like, I guess she was already drunk, and I was drinking with him and talking to him, and I didn't know that was his ex-girlfriend. And I had, we like left the room together, came back, and I guess she got really jealous. I still don't know it's his ex-girlfriend. And then all of a sudden from behind, all I hear is, he doesn't love you, he loves me. I was like,
obviously not, bitch, because we just came from the back room.
We just made out in the other room, so I don't know what you're talking about. But cool, if you want him back. We're not dating, we're just talking. Like,
you can love someone else and totally make out with someone else.
And I just started laughing because I turned around and I saw her, and I literally started laughing because I was like, she's gotta be fucking intoxicated, because does she not see me? She's like 5 feet tall. I'm 5'8". I'm not light either. Like, bitch, I'm not the one. So I started laughing. Like, one of the guys had to hold her and like take her out of the room. I think they were more afraid that I would get up and do something than she was going to do something to me. But I just was like, yo, I don't have time for this. I just, like, as an adult, unless it was like me being threatened for my life, I don't think I would like actually physically get into altercations anymore. Like, I think it's dumb. The shit is dumb.
When somebody puts their hands on me, I would like to have that same rationale, but it goes away. Like, I can't see straight. Like I don't even see what's in front of me. It turns red. Like I don't even know.
Guys.
I'm like like I turn into something else. Like
I think it's in your nature.
I can see that for sure.
Have you seen?
She's always calm.
What's that?
He's always calm. I said
Me?
I can see that for sure with you because you always seem very very calm.
And then I'm not only beating your ass for what you just did. I'm beating your ass for everything that's happened in the past year and a half because that's the last time. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm like, I black
getting
out
it all
and I
out.
don't know what the fuck is going on.
Oh
Because
god!
this happened to me. I think the last time I actually like flipped the fuck out was when I was at the Plaza Hotel, downtown Las Vegas. Oh god, this was terrible. So I was with two different groups of friends. Sorry, this is a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna make it quick.
But also,
I was with two separate groups of friends, right? Two separate groups where both groups are there to celebrate one person's birthday.
Okay, gotcha.
So we're there, and I'm going back and forth because I'm friends with both groups, but these two groups aren't really intermingling with each other. So I'm going back and forth the whole night because I'm cool with both. Long story short, I'm en route from one group to the other. So as I'm walking from the bar to the casino floor, some random ass dude just walks up to me. He's like, yeah, cause yo bitch, and then does my forehead like this. And I was like, who the fuck is you?
Oh,
and why the fuck is you touching me? So I'm like, what's going? So when I see him tripping and then I see a group of my friends like tripping with him, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Cause I see them. That calmed me down a little bit. I'm like, what happened? What's going on? So he's looking at me. He's like, yeah, cause yo bitch. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking? What is going on? I'm not understanding. So then he did it again. And then I lost it. I don't really remember much after that. All I remember is security showed up. They grabbed him and took him away.
Oh shit!
But they didn't take me. So I guess they had surveillance of everything that was going on.
What happened?
So they saw what he was doing before.
People vouch for you because you weren't doing shit.
I wasn't doing it.
Because that's crazy.
Did
you kill him?
No, I think
they dragged
Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department might have killed him.
Oh no!
I didn't.
Oh no!
He was never seen again.
Never seen again. No, but long story short, I guess in the other group, it was a Caucasian female who I'm still friends with her today. She dropped the N-bomb. But she was talking to another white guy. And she was like, what she said was, whatever, nigga. She said it like that. And then he was behind her and she didn't see him, the guy who tripped out. And he was like, what the fuck you said? She was like, I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to him. And that's a whole nother story in itself because she's like, I don't understand why you were offended because I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to him, but I can kind of get why he was offended. That's a whole other story.
That's for a race episode.
Yeah, that is for a race.
He was a man and he kind of went at her.
Oh, he probably, it would have been a conversation to have and not a physical altercation if you were a dude.
He kind of got a little cray-cray and then
he
had his girlfriend there and his girlfriend was like, yo, chill out. She's like $1.05 soaking wet. And he was relentless. So much so to the girlfriend kind of like walked away. She was like, you're tripping. And so she left. So when security came, she was like, she kind of sat down and kept gambling as if she didn't know who he was. But she was like, he tripped the fuck out.
Oh shit. Damn.
Yeah, so I realized that after.
Well, that's good that they didn't. Settled. I mean, people gotta be careful though. In this climate, you can't be just saying shit. Like. Yeah,
you really can't be saying stuff. But this was a little bit before all of that stuff popped off. This was like 2011.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
before it got cray-cray, but it doesn't make it okay.
It still doesn't.
Never made it okay.
People are crazy.
I don't care what type of passes you think you have.
Right.
So basically,
that was the last time.
Don't fight if you're grown. Try not to fight if you're grown, because you can go to jail. Like you don't want to waste.
Motherfucker in the casino. You know what I'm saying? You gotta.
I mean,
throw an uppercut.
It's a little crazy.
Oh my God, these kids. Sorry. No, you gotta do what you gotta do. But he
I like this question. We have to talk about this. How far into your friend's romantic relationship do you get into?
Not at all, unless they volunteer it. I'll comment and laugh.
Unless they're voluntarily telling you the story.
Unless they volunteer, if they want advice and they want to be so candid to tell me, I would be so candid to give you a response. And if you get mad at it, I don't give a fuck.
Well, so
you better take it because you had balls enough to ask me some crazy.
Right, I'm the same way. If you
can't
ask
be mad
me,
at the crazy fucked up shit, I'll tell you.
If you ask me for a a answer, I'm gonna give it to you. But here's one thing I did learn though. I do try to stay out more than I used to because, like, for example, like if one of your friends came to you and was like, should I leave him or her? Should I stay with him or her? And if you say either way, it puts you in a predicament either way. Because if they stay with them and you told them to leave, they're gonna blame you for being a bitch. If they leave, but you told them to stay with them, they're gonna blame you for not understanding where they came from. So I typically, unless it's like a quick something like not so life changing situation, I don't.
Like just a fling or something.
Yeah, like I mean,
Yeah.
I like if you're cool with what you're doing in your relationship and you want to talk about it, we can discuss it. But I'm not gonna give you advice on shit that you don't want real advice on, because if I tell it to you, you're gonna be butthurt either way, because I'm gonna say it relating back to my life experiences, which is not gonna be the same as yours. You know what I mean?
True. That's a good way to put it.
And
Because
it also depends, I guess, too, how well you know them. Because I've had some friends where you know them very well, so it's not even a matter of you giving them advice off of your own life experience, it's off of you knowing them so goddamn well.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're able to be like, hey, I know this ain't it for you. And I've been like way too involved in some friends' relationships.
And you know what? Even I feel like even if you know them
anymore, because I'm like, no, because any advice that I'm giving you is it's not only what you said you wanted from yourself, but it's the same thing you would tell me out of love, because everybody's going to have a different set of rules they go by.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some like streamlined things in a relationship. Don't nobody want to support somebody who's being cheated on, beated on, cheated on.
But see, even that.
Nobody wants to support somebody who's going through that. Now, you're going to do what you want to do at the end of the day, but I know that's not what you want for your life. I know that's not what you prayed God to deliver you into. So if I'm telling you some real ass shit, I remember having for a while, I don't do it no more because now I don't give a fuck. I'd have to be like, what type of friend do you want me to be right now? Because I know what I want to say, but then I also know what you're really ready to hear.
What you want to hear, exactly.
I said some real ass shit before, and I've had some people be like, it didn't feel good that you said this, or I felt a way that you said.
So what the fuck you asked me for then?
But listen, so you don't feel
like, hell no.
about the motherfucker you with doing this shit, but you feel a way that I said something about the shit.
See,
so
that's some bullshit.
What you want to do, but I can't say shit.
But that's what I'm saying.
And you'll continue to let this motherfucker do what the fuck. But drag your ass through the fucking mud. When
it comes to some of them women, it be what I've noticed, because it's one thing when it's your husband, and I'm not saying I should give people a pass, but I can, if I'm gonna put it on a scale, all right, that's your husband, marriage, household, whatever. I'll put that on a higher scale. But the way a lot of women are doing more so than men and treating the boyfriends like husbands and doing the damn most, it really does come down to, if it's me or him, you're gonna choose him, because you ain't ready to give that up. You'll give up your friends.
Of course,
for
especially women.
Women will do that over and over again. Not all women, so don't nobody come at me in the comments.
Damn, she said that like a real YouTuber. She said,
because I'm not for it. Look, so y'all can lose.
So you lose.
To lose.
Right.
Yeah, to lose. Just to lose. But yeah, when I realized in a couple of friendships,
so funny. I'm sorry.
Situation or our friendship, y'all ain't shit.
She said, "Why so you can lose?" I was like, "What? Who's that?"
But you see, she ain't do shit. Did she do anything?
She didn't do shit. She was just like,
but you know what?
She was so rah.
Not rah.
But
she was like rowdy.
She was like, I think I know you're talking about too. She was definitely getting about it, and I'm like, well, the way I figure, if you don't swing, then swing. Like,
she was like, okay, so you talking about shit, so you can lose, and she was like, lose what? This fight you talk about, right? Because it came to some real shit at that point. Because she was all rowdy, all mouth, and he was like, so you can lose what? A fight. So now she's like, oh, so she really talked about fight without talking about fight. That fucked your mind up. Sit down, bitch. Sit the fuck down. Before Brandy fuck you
God,
up.
I can't stand it.
And I'll pay her. I will pay you in fucking Panther dollars or whatever the fuck we have.
I forgot about Panther dollars. Holy shit. We did do that.
I will send you a fucking candygram. Remember candygrams? I will send you a candygram if you whooped her ass.
Oh man.
I will give you a free rug and a Sophie sale. Remember that shit?
Shut up. I hate you so much.
Yes.
But no, okay, so off task.
Again, sorry.
In conclusion, you know what? I would like to recommend people to stay out of people's relationships, like when it's like a serious question. I'm not talking shit like, oh, like so my husband went and bought this ugly shirt and I hate him wearing it. Like, talk about shit like that. I get it. But like when they're like, you know, he cheated on me, so I stay or go, I keep my hand out of it. There's no win-win situation.
Should you stay or go? I don't even want to hear about that shit anymore. Because if you're even
well,
talk to me about it, you're not going nowhere.
Well, you still got. I feel like you still have to listen, though. I still feel like you got to
that
listen.
part. That part.
Like, I understand what you're saying.
Have to do shit, CJ. This ain't high school no more, CJ. We ain't gotta do shit.
Nothing you say I have to do, CJ. No, I mean, like, what I mean is, like, if they have a concern, I feel like as a friend, you got to listen to the conversation. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you have to reach in and give them the advice that they really don't want. You know what I mean?
Right. God,
that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like venting is necessary. I say some crazy shit too. I really don't have too much to say other than my day-to-day life, where I'm like, today was not it, y'all. But like, and I'm a very private person. I'm a Scorpio through and through. People don't know about my business. I don't put it out there. It's not for people to like, unless it's like on this podcast and we're talking about a certain subject. I don't like putting it out on social media. I don't like, you know.
But even if someone was gonna do that, I know, and I don't know them personally, but I have just seen it, where there are some women, because I'm only using women because I haven't experienced a lot of women, but there's some women that know they with somebody who ain't shit and don't mind telling their friends, look, I know Rodney ain't shit, but I ain't ready to leave him. I can rock with that because you're being honest about that. He ain't shit, and this is what it is. But when you kind of doing everything other than that and not being real about the situation and trying to paint it one way, or when you are friends in real life and you see that they doing some fake shit online and you looking like, this nigga just beat your ass and you talking about loving my life? What the
They do it all the time.
See, that shit, and then that's why I stay out of shit too.
You gotta stay
people love to get, especially with guys, getting us involved in the situation. When you getting your ass beat on a regular and you want to call me, but you going right back to this motherfucker. If I beat his ass today, you're going to be with this motherfucker tomorrow. So now there's going to be conflict throughout the duration of your, however long you decide to stay with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's always going to be conflict because you're going to stay together. And I'm going to have to beat his ass on a daily basis.
Know that you were the one that they were talking to. Now, if that person does have to choose, they're still going to choose that person. And now your friendship is messed up.
That's what I'm saying. You can't fuck around with that.
They don't fuck with you no more.
And like that couple I was talking about, B and C, the cunty couple, they fight and bicker every day. I'm talking like,
because they sound like two miserable motherfuckers. That's
so here's the thing: he's not as crazy. It's her. And but
he sets up and entertains that shit though.
That's the thing. But we can't figure out. Me and A can't figure out what it is that he's doing, and we think that she might be his beard. Possibly.
His what?
His beard.
We'll have to talk about this.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Oh my God, D, you're the worst.
Do you know what this means? You're an awful gay.
D, you're the worst gay ever.
What are you?
Gay guys who try to like live a straight life, if they get with a girl, we call them beards, like their beard. You
the guy? Oh no!
Right. Yeah.
I cannot believe.
Yes. That's fucking crazy.
You never heard that, D?
I've never heard of that term. I always call it a cover up. Like you got to
No, it's called we think she's his beard.
You probably seen plenty of beards in Vegas and ain't even know it.
Oh my God! But
there's
no,
a lot of those running around.
But I'm talking like A sent me a picture one time of B pulling up a binder full of like the time he spent online doing things, and then she had like a 3-hour discussion with him. Like this happens like almost every night, they said.
Oh,
wait, girl. A 3-hour discussion of
whatever C did that day that she didn't like, or he said in a wrong tone, or like.
So she gives him a daily evaluation of his performance.
I don't even know why they're getting married in like 2 months, less than 2 months, I think. And I'm like, why are y'all even together? That's why I think she's a beard.
What does he look like?
What is he? I'll send you pictures of them later. But I mean,
Please do to our
because here's the thing too. When I
Should I
first
come
met
rescue
him,
this motherfucker?
you could, you might. But like when she got hired on, when I hired her at my store, and she brought him over to our store, me and A met him, and we after he left, we both looked at each other and we were both confused because we were like, "That's her fiance." I was like, "He can't be straight."
If they watch this shit, they gonna be mad as fuck.
I don't care. But here's listen. After the cunty couple kicked out or like served papers to my friend A, they went around blocking me on social media. But I don't know why.
Oh, so they won't see the shit. Fuck them.
But here's the thing. A told me today that she's been having rando Instagram profiles that have no pictures and stuff trying to follow her for 3 days now. So I think they're trying to check out what's still going on without being caught. Right.
Without being, yeah.
This is why friendship is crazy, when you have crazy ass people in your life. But so, like, long story short, like there's like craziness like that. And that's why I try to stay away from relationship conversations, because they'll fight and bicker. That's what it was. They fight and bicker almost every night for hours, but then you go on their Instagram or Facebook and they're like photos of them holding each other, showing off her fucking wedding ring, or like, you know what I mean? She posts like Bible verses about being a good wife.
For that shit.
Girl, I was like, listen, like, y'all are the fakest,
and that's not to say you got to put all your bad and all your shit out there, but it's like, when I know the real, don't you dare be posting like this nigga shit.
That's what I'm saying. Fake people are crazy.
He just boned your sister last week.
Man, listen.
Looking ass.
Messing up your whole.
Let's see. I'm trying to pick like one more question before we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Yeah. Oh. This is kind of two-part, but it kind of goes hand in hand. What makes a good friend?
I don't have to support your toxic ass tendencies to be a good friend. I don't.
You don't.
If I'm a bad friend because I'm not supporting your fucked up relationship or your fucked up money decisions or your fucked up thinking, then I'm just a fucked up friend. And I don't know. From afar.
That sounds like you're talking to somebody.
I'm not gonna do it with myself, and I'm not gonna do it with nobody else. If shit ain't right, it ain't right. If you
That's true.
Bad broads to hype you up with your badass decisions, you don't need to talk to me.
That's my thing. That's my thing too. If I'm fucking up, let me know I'm fucking up. And I might even lash out and might not want to hear it, but give me a date, and I'm gonna be like, you know what, you want some real shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But people don't appreciate shit like that. Motherfuckers want fluff 24 fucking hours a day. The world ain't fluff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. Right. And you know it's bullshit because you're going through the bullshit. That's why you're reaching out to me.
It's the crazy. Looking at us.
But it's just easier to make us the bad guys. And it's like, I'm not always going to say shit that's going to be in this perfect box wrapped up in a perfect bow.
Because people have to hold somebody accountable in it. Why not let it be this way?
Well, that comes back down to being self-aware with your shit too. Because if you don't know where you stand in your own life, you can have friends trample all over you and make it feel like it was you. Just like you guys were saying, like, is it me? It's not you, it's them.
Well, you have to stand up for something. If you don't stand for something, you won't fall for anything. That's why
you better say it.
Motherfuckers is in the situations that they're in right now.
You better say it again.
That shit. You better stand for something.
Last bit before we gotta cut it out so we could go to bed and do shit. What do you think makes a good friend? And is it harder to keep friends you grew up with, or is it like making new friends as an adult better?
Making new friends as an adult better? No.
Or easier, I guess.
No, it's not easier. I'd say it's more fake. And I'm not saying fake as in like I'm a fake person, but you got to do what you got to do to survive. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of business relationships that you develop. And I wouldn't say it's fake, but I'd say there is a rapport that you have to build with the client, or that you have to build with a colleague in order to reach the same goal. Because you all have a mission. We all have a job to do. We all trying to reach this. We all trying to get to the same place.
Would you say you have a lot more friends from like when you were younger than your adulthood then?
I have a lot more friends that I feel the relationship is stronger with from my childhood. Because I have a lot of friends now that I've met as an adult, and I'm pretty close with some of these people. I'd say a very, very small minority of these people since I've been an adult, but they're there. But I'd say it doesn't even come into comparison to the connection that I have with the people that I grew up with.
Gotcha.
There's maybe a hand, like I could count on one hand people that I met in my adulthood that I would actually put on that same caliber.
Okay, gotcha. What
Where
about
if
you?
there's people that I grew up with, like Okie people, or people even before Okie, that even I could put on two hands.
Right.
There's just a lot of people that I was close with. Sorry.
No, you're good. What about you, Brandy? Like,
I've been blessed in the sense where I've never really felt like I've struggled with friends. So it's hard for me to say whether it's like easier or better having the friends that are, because I really have to disconnect it from like Okie friends and then everyone else. That's kind of where the categories are going. I, like Demetria said, I have made a lot of Okie friendships stronger. So like Dorinda, I'm her kid's godmom, which I was still bewildered about. We don't even talk every day, but it goes back to that.
That's the thing, yeah.
Don't have to. She just trusts me in that way. And then Sierra, shout out to Cece if she's listening. Very close still with her. And again, we don't talk every day, but I plan on seeing her next month. So I really kind of focused on, especially after getting those other weird relationships out of my life, focusing on making those Okie relationships stronger, because a lot of those I do feel like are going to be lifetime bonds and we're just going to be friends for life. But I've been blessed in a sense where every place I've moved to in the States, because I think you guys have been kind of gypsies since you've been stateside too.
Yep.
Moving around a lot, I always find a tribe. And I always find a solid bunch. It's not like 20 people, but there's almost about 5 people.
Blind Jay.
Yeah.
There's always about like 5 people that I can really.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Like a place to stay or money to borrow, or just like those dire situations, like he was mentioning, that adulthood brings. That Okinawa didn't matter. The most I needed was like, you got extra dollars, I get this Anthony's pizza slice. Like, that was the struggle then. Now it's kind of like, fuck, I can't get this job unless I have somebody to watch my kid while I'm in training for 6 weeks. So to have a friend that can understand that, and they're like, I'm going to cut out some of my sleep to get your kid. My girlfriend, shout out to Tatiana, the one that was being a hating ass bitch before. She was herself. I want
to see you bust down. No, I'm just playing. Sorry.
Bust down. That's her song for her though. She was so excited. And I was like, no, they're saying thought. It's thought. But she's great. But she was picking them up for a couple weeks so I could actually get shit done. So for me, I've enjoyed both. One wasn't better than the other. I've just been trying to be better at giving the energy to those relationships that actually serve me in this season of my life, and not really letting myself be drained by those friendships that are just stale. And I don't give a fuck if we grew up together, how long I've known you, none of that shit no more.
Right, me too.
Clean plate for all you motherfuckers. It is what it is right now. He's doing the cut.
You be
cutting everybody off.
No, I feel that though, because I'm the same way, just like y'all, moving around, I like the way you said that, find my tribe everywhere I move to. Like, I have my crew in San Antonio. D was part of that. That was crazy.
Like, Jay,
you know what I mean?
When I moved
to
what's an F?
I can't stand y'all. When I moved to Nebraska, I had my tribe there too. Like, my roommate was actually from Okie though, so like I always had some kind of Okie support system wherever I moved.
Because a girl from my church, I think I told you guys, she went to Kubasaki.
Yeah.
Why are we running into Okie people?
Well, it's just one of those things. Even when I moved here, like Dallas has a lot of Okie peeps, like just in general, Fort Worth. And like, I'm cool with it. Like, my Okie peeps are like forever friends for most of them that are like keeping in touch with me. And I'm trying to do a little bit better from my end, reaching out to all my other friends too. Not to the point where I feel like I'm just the only one like reacting to their everyday life stuff, but I just making sure that people know that I still think of them. Even if I don't say it every day, I guess. Like, even if I come around like once every like 2 months, I'm like, hey, I see your kids are growing. That's cool. And then I move on to the next person.
Yeah.
Like I try to do that a little bit more, and I feel like it's working, and it's given me a little bit of a peace of mind to know that I have all my friends still there supporting me doing things. Like majority of my friends are very supported. I do have a handful of frenemies, and I know who they are. And if they are listening to this, fuck y'all.
Yay!
What a sick dick bitch.
But also, one of the other things that helped me through all of this is my brother has turned me on to a lot of books about certain situations. They're tiger clawing at the screen, and we can't keep
The Millie Wop Tiger Club.
You guys should read this book too. It is amazing, and if you're listening and you haven't, you should check it out. It's called The Third Circle Theory. Third
Circles.
Third Circle Theory.
Who did you say recommended it?
My brother. Like I have a shit ton. Yeah, shit. It's wait a minute. Why do you know this? No, actually, we're Audible people, so we listen to our books. It's faster.
Oh, you're those people.
Yeah, it's just faster. But
I have a membership.
But they talk about how there's like circles that you grow out of as you like move on in your life and get to a higher place. So the first circle is where most people stay and get stuck at, where they're not trying to achieve or be ambitious about anything in their lives. So once you start to move out of that first circle into the second circle, you will notice the people talking shit about you or hating on you or being frenemies and stuff. So the higher you move out, and like the further out you move into the outside layers of the circle, the less friends you're gonna have. That's why people say it's lonely at the top. It's true. Whether it's in
more money, more problems.
Friendship, business, or whatever it is. But when you start to move on to better your life and the people around you, the people who feel like they're not involved in that are going to start to resent you. And you just kind of have to like.
When we first started this podcast,
yeah,
everyone's exes was cutting up.
I told you.
Friends was cutting up, and I'm like, what the fuck is?
People came out of the woodworks. I warned you, but that's part of the reason I knew that was going to happen was because I read that book, because I knew those were the patterns that people really do have when other people that. What it is when let's say person like A thinks that you're supposed to be at this level with them. The minute you go to level 2, this person is like, what the fuck are you doing up there? You better come back down to where you was at.
Crab in a bucket.
Right. So what they're trying to do is pull your ass down. And that's why you can't listen to the outside voices. You got to tune that fucking noise out. Like, and just keep going. That's why when you guys were talking about, is it me or is it fuck up? It ain't you. It's them. They're the ones who fucked up, and they're the ones who don't want you to succeed. They're the ones, and they might not use those exact terms. They might even be unconsciously doing it. They might not even be realizing that they're doing it.
Like you feel when you're just like, I know you're really not supporting me, even if you're not saying it directly. You're kind of going out of your way not to acknowledge or support. And
oh my God, yes.
That acknowledgement, it's not everybody got to do it. But when you know somebody's kind of close to you and you gonna tell me we're talking about everything else going on in my life. So you've seen everything else I've been doing this summer, but this podcast. You've seen everything else I was doing, but these costumes. Oh, okay. So you got a type of astigmatism where you can't see the shit that I'm doing.
Your shit is vibrating like this. They got your focus is fucked up.
Yeah,
your whole focus is fucked up.
But that's the thing. Like, really, like, if this is a great episode. Like, if you are friends with people who you feel like are bringing you down, like, I would reflect upon all the successes you've had in the last 6 months to 12 months and see if there's something that they wanted that you got. And if that's why they're being nasty or being resentful, or because once you can figure it out, you can place them in the right place in your life. You know what I mean? Like,
and handle them accordingly. Like,
handle them accordingly. That's my favorite thing. Handle them accordingly. Because I don't think you have to cut everybody out of your life just because they don't mesh with everything that you're doing. But I do believe in letting them.
There's that throat again.
I know. I do believe in lessening the time you spend with them. I really do. And I think me and Brandy talked about this because my brother had the same thing to say about one of my particular friends. I was like, you know what? Y'all are right. I need to like ease up on the time I'm on the phone with this person or whatever. Like, and it has helped me clear my mentality in the last few months, because I'm like, it happened. There was a trigger that happened, and I was like, this is it. This was my sign that I've been needing for like a year or whatever, and now it's here. Like you have to choose to take or leave it too. Like I took it this time.
And it's hurtful when
it
you
is.
really do love somebody, whether it's like your friendship or even in relationships. But I noticed as soon as I lost, and I don't even count them as a loss, it was just like a shift transition.
Right.
As soon as I transitioned out of 2 major relationships and how I handled them, a friendship and then a romantic relationship, shit changed for me drastically.
Right.
With the people that were around me, with the ideas that were floating, with the amount of time I had to do other things, with the energy I had to do everything. So now all of a sudden I have time for borrowing. I'm traveling more. Because of my financial situation changing, I had enough clarity to be like, all right, let me get these extra jobs. And these are all things I don't think I would have been able to do if I was still nursing these relationships and putting all of this energy in there. And it wasn't an iron sharpening iron thing at that point.
Right.
And then I'm just pouring out and pouring out and pouring out, and I have nothing for me.
Yeah.
And I think that can happen a lot in some relationships, friendships that aren't,
it's like, it's not even pouring out equal amounts. It's just pouring out when you need to because you're friends. You know what I mean? Like giving when you need to give, and then taking without resentment, taking when you need to take. Like it should have been that type of balance. Just not, it's not always 50-50. It's 100% when you give and 100% when you take. That's the balance you're supposed to be at. But when you start to keep tally of things, whether it's a friendship or relationship,
shout out to Candace. Candace, if you listen, I'm gonna shout you out because she always say real friends don't count favors.
They don't.
She's ever done some real shit for me, whether it was like buy me a burrito or she helped me out. Let me put her on blast and put myself on blast.
Hey,
I was getting my finances together, right? This shit was crazy. I completely forgot about some random bill because the credit card was not a high balance. It was like $250 or something. But of course that can accumulate or whatever. And I had like 4 other ones to take care of. Long story short, they was coming at your girl's neck. So I was like, hey, there's going to be a lawsuit, woo, blah, blah. And I was just like, shit, I can't do A, B, and C that I had planned and paid for back in like February for the summer. Because I'm like, I got to handle this.
Right.
And I remember telling her, I was like, Candace, I priorities, and I'm just gonna have to like, take the L and do whatever. She was like, girl, see what they'll settle for. They settle for $500. She gives me the $500.
See?
And I'm just sitting there looking crazy because I wasn't even going to ask her. She was asking me what was wrong, and I'm like, I'm just trying to figure some shit out because I don't really like reaching out and being like, oh
no, yeah, because we proud.
You don't want to, you don't want to put yourself where you feel like a burden to somebody.
Right, but to say like she did it, and I know there was no spirit of, well, you owe me, well, you're gonna have to do this. Well,
but that's the thing.
You know
that's
what
I'm
mean?
saying. When especially with money, I remember one of the things my mom had said that stuck to me is, if you give your friend money, don't think it's ever going to come back. If you're going to give money away or let somebody borrow it, quote unquote, don't expect it back. Like, because it's money. They're going to have to go spend it somewhere. So it may not come back. So if you're looking for it to come back, then you're already doing it for the wrong reasons. Like if you're trying to do it to help somebody, you're doing it to help somebody, whether it comes back or not. Like, and I have loaned money to people. Sometimes it doesn't come back as money. It might come back as something else, or they fully give it back, or you don't at all and are unappreciative. And I know where to put those people too. You know what I'm saying? So you only got a couple times with me when I do stuff like that. And because I feel like all of us never do it out of like wanting favors back. You know what I mean?
CJ,
D got one. Go ahead, D.
There was a situation. What happened? Oh, I needed a fucking asthma pump. And I don't know. I could not come up with this $80 to get this fucking asthma pump. I was like, CJ, I need to get an asthma pump. Can I borrow $80? And she was like, where the fuck are you at? And she brought me $80. And then like months went by, and I was like, oh shit, I owe CJ $80. And I gave it to her, and she was like, oh, I wasn't even expecting this back. And I was like, well, why the fuck not?
Because I just don't. It's just not. It's
There you
I
go.
mean, even when we talked and you were like, I need another place to go to, I was like, well, just come down to San Antonio.
Come
Like,
on down to San Antonio.
and
In it town.
that, I mean, well, because if you think about it, it's like if you are friends with somebody, you want to do stuff to help them out. It's going back to the A, B, C people. They got A as a roommate because they were like, oh, we'll help you get back on your feet. But then now that they were like getting married, they were like, well, we need you out by this time.
Damn.
Like, she was like, but I thought you were
So-
helping. And get this, A had gone through a job layoff, right? A couple months ago. And so she called and she was like, B and C just told me that if I don't have money for rent by the 9th, I have to leave. They're your friends? And they know that you just got laid off? And they're like, you have to have rent by the 9th? Today's the
That's fucking
30th?
crazy.
It's so crazy. So that's why I was telling A, I was like, I don't understand, because when my friends are like, I need a place to stay, I'm like, go ahead and come over. I'm already paying the rent. I don't need your money to do it. I'm just saying, come here. It's a safe haven. Like, you can be here. That's fine. And the thing
Right.
is, though, like, I did that for D, but also my friend Bridget did that for me when me and my ex broke through. I didn't have to say anything. I showed up with a bag of clothes at 5:00 in the morning at her house, and she and her mother took me in. Like,
See?
no
Because
questions
it pays
asked.
forward.
It
pays
does.
forward.
And they didn't even ask for rent. They didn't ask for money for bills, nothing, until I got back on my feet. And I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and start paying this
How many
like $400-$500 a month. Huh?
How many bedrooms y'all got?
What, me? Oh, you need a place? I mean,
I would just show up with people.
I got 3. The tiny one's tiny enough that she can share with the other one.
I was just gonna say Heather finna let me in anyway, so we
Heather finna be like, you live in my room. It's big enough, Auntie Brandy.
Come on down.
Come on down.
We could be princesses
Heather
together.
and I would be awesome around each other. So.
She does. She got her own kitchen. She got her own little tent. She got her like microwave in there. She got her little tent. She asked me for her birthday that's coming up. She asked me if she could get a sink area for her room. I said, you are.
That's what she wants, a sink?
She's 3. She's weird. I don't know. She my kid.
I
That's
like
why.
it.
She got a whole area. She got
She gonna go
clocks.
clean up all these damn dishes. That's what she said.
Okay, black mom.
But here's the thing, though, like it's like random thing, but I try to get her to do stuff like that. My 3-year-old's been setting the table for dinner, so that's her chore, like, because she sees my older one doing the dishes. So I was like, you need a chore too, like you set the table every day, and that's probably where she got it from. But long story short, on the friendship thing, like you just like. I just don't understand the whole like keeping track of give and takes if you're friends. As a matter of fact, Bridget did me another one too, because I think when before I moved in with them, me and my ex had moved in some crazy couple who didn't want to pay their fucking bills, and he came up short. The couple's guy came up short on the bill, and I went and Bridget handed over $200 so I could pay mortgage for that month, and then I paid it back. Like, I always intended on paying it back, but she like just handed it to me. The crazy part is like I only knew her for like 6 months or some shit, and she like trusted me with that bullshit, which was crazy.
Man.
Which is why she'll be at the wedding also. Like,
Bridgemaster.
you know, Bridgemaster.
Shout out to Bridgemaster.
Shout out Bridgemaster. I gotta call her like and see how she's doing. It's been a few months, but you know what I mean. So like to me, like all my real friends are really like that. Like they don't keep track of shit. They never tell me anything. Like when I moved to Nebraska and I was living with Jimmy, like I remember like not having a job the first month or whatever there, and he was like, do you need me to pay? Like he would pay for me to go out and drink with them just so he could have somebody to go out and drink with them.
Those
like,
are true friends.
I'm just saying, like you were saying, like, I'm hungry, can you get me a burrito? Sure. Like
I wouldn't even have to say nothing.
That's what I mean.
She would just hand it over, and I'm just like, thank you, sir. Like,
oh my God. Or like I'd come home from work and Dee would have like egg rolls fried. I'm like, fuck yes. This is what I'm talking about.
Or shout out to Tatiana and Candace, because I remember having some breakdowns coming out of my last relationship while I was still in it. And I'd have like emergency meetings at like a little like Chinese spot or whatever.
Emergency. What are you, like Sex in the City? What is
it would be like emergency meetings. I'm like, yo. So ordering all this food and I'm showing you screenshots. I'm like, tell me what to do. But just the fact that I can call
Oh yeah.
and have that, you know, happen. And before me and the other person I mentioned just stopped talking like that, we would always be like that for each other. But it was to an extent where it did get a little toxic to the point where it's like, okay, we're co-depending on each other way too much to get through everything. So if you don't answer the phone or I don't answer the phone, we don't know what to do. Like,
oh yeah, that's crazy.
That was unhealthy. So now that I'm making healthier choices with friendships, it's nice to have people that are as whole and healthy and stable as they can be, strong where I may not be, and we can kind of play off that. And I can honestly say I don't feel like I have any in my life right now where I gotta like lessen their time or rearrange some shit. And that time will come when it comes again and make some shifts. But
yeah,
right now it's pretty great, and it's good to get all that rest of that shit out because I was able to make room for these other people that are coming out of nowhere that I'm just clicking with. Shout out to Leah Huddleston. Shout out to Nicole.
Dang.
I told her I would shout her out, but these are great women in my life that have this great business mindset like you do, CJ, where they're thinking in a way my other friends don't, and not because they're bad friends, but because they're just different. So,
did you just post that article about that business mindset
yeah,
friends? Yeah, you need some.
Yeah, I saw that.
There are people that'll be like, yo, I listened to your podcast, or here's what to do about it. Or when are you doing this cosplay thing again? Or I got something I'm running for this. Can you show up in costume? Like they are thinking and pushing, and I need more people in my life like that. I'm trying to think of my own ideas and birth these creative babies. It's
trying to push your own ass. Looking at
no, for real. You gotta bring. Oh my god. I can never be serious with these two motherfuckers here. Like,
I can't wait to ruin your wedding with our shenanigans.
Oh my god.
Are we gonna record? I think I'm gonna get after my brother records the whole thing, I might cut it up, slice it up, and put it on our podcasting too. Or
nice. Can we do para?
You guys want some para? I know there'll be some kachashi dancing, that's for sure. And, oh my god, are we gonna do some Night of Fire? Yeah, we gonna do that?
Oh yeah, we doing that. We doing that.
Oh my god. Anyway,
we doing karaoke. Nakara.
I kind of want to do that too.
You good and all. Kimi no sugata ni.
Oh no.
What?
When you walk away, you walk away.
Please, oh baby. Simply clean is the way that you make.
That's what she has to walk out to
tonight.
Yes.
I'm gonna just turn this off real quick.
Never end.
Oh no.
Never end.
Oh my god, I gotta put disclaimers on this episode too. I cannot stand y'all. These two don't know how the internet works half the time, I think.
Well, all of us can't graduate from the school of the fourth industrial revolution.
I'd be like, no, you cannot use those pictures. No.
Is your phone on airplane mode? Do you have extra pillows underneath your computer?
I mean,
stop knowing so much about
that.
Maybe you'd have more friends.
Always aware, looking ass. Always aware. World awareness. Just aware every goddamn thing.
You don't know how to turn her damn brain off.
I don't. You know what I like? Side note.
That's what you don't know how to do.
I don't know how to turn.
You don't know how to do.
Seriously. I don't know how to turn my brain off. So recently, because it's been so bad, because I'm trying to like multitask all my hustles at the same time, like my brain does not turn off. So I've had this app on my phone. It's called Atmosphere. You can make like white noise, different things like raindrops or like storm sounds, birds chirping and shit like that.
Raindrop drops?
Like the what? I can't. But I like listen to that for like, I put it on for like an hour timer. And it helps me go to sleep. It stops my brain from thinking. And you can add like hertz to it, where it's like sounds for like healing and shit too. That shit freaks me out, so I don't do it when I'm about to sleep. I only do it when I'm awake.
I normally play like ocean sounds, but I messed up and pressed something like ocean sounds for meditation. Anytime something don't seem right when I'm sleeping, and we'll talk more about this for the episode next month, I can feel it and wake up. It's almost like I can the room and see myself and know something's not right, and I wake up.
Feels like tentacle. Does it feel like tentacle?
And I
Does it
heard
feel like tentacles?
and I heard the ocean sounds, and it went into a deeper voice for some type of guided meditation. And I don't fool with all that.
I can't do that.
So I woke up and I was like,
No.
no, like
Nope.
No, guided.
Feels like tentacles. I know what you're talking about.
Well, like those meditations that are guided to put you to sleep. You don't know what's happening when you're sleeping, so I don't fuck with that.
Your body is still like awake.
Mhm.
So I'm just like, no.
Listen, my dad used to tell me, like, don't ever get hypnotized ever. Like, ever, for nothing. And like, I feel like that was the truth. I mean, there's a reason why that fucking people out here just stirring the tea. Girl, I can't. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to be careful with that shit. But anyway, before we wrap it up for like the 10th time, I just wanted to say that this will be our last regular episode. If you're listening or watching, what we mean by that is October is Brandy's birthday and CJ's birthday at the beginning and the end. Brandy's birthday's on the 3rd. Mine's on the 31st. I'm a spooky gal. I'm born on Halloween. And
we take the whole month.
Yeah, we take the whole month, and then it bleeds. So into all of that. But we decided that we're going to do spooky stories that we actually have gone through.
Shit.
Yes, real shit. And we have a lot of them. I don't even know where to start. I'm just going to start a list. You guys start a list too, and we'll just go from one thing to another.
From childhood until adulthood.
Yes.
Man, listen. Scary story. I think some of my scary stories, the stuff has happened in church, which is not a coincidence why all them scary movies and shit be in church.
People think that church is like
shit.
People think church is like some safe haven. Nigga, it's just buildings.
You ever see one of them ones that really look like them Gothic cathedrals? I walk past this stuff and I was like, this shit looks scary. Like,
well, I mean, like, we can get into all of that crazy stuff at one of ours too, but
and we want to do like monster, not so much trivia, but just getting into the
types of things. I got this. You know, I got this.
It's gonna be fun. And I'm gonna plug another podcast called Lore because they did a great breakdown of the Pied Piper and what really happened to all those kids, because that really was documented in that country where they left. But the way he broke it down too was like, damn.
I need to start listening to them. You did tell me about that.
So good. LORE for anybody else listening. If you
Lore.
like kind of creepy shit, the best episode I heard, and we'll probably talk about it next month.
The Pied Piper R&B. You talking about that shit next.
Yes.
And it was weird because I guess at that time it wasn't uncommon for the Roman soldiers to go around and basically be like, your whole town owe taxes or we take your kid.
Yep.
But we get permission from the parents to take the kids, but it's easier to spin the tail at somebody came through with a fluke to call our kids.
Mm-hmm.
You motherfuckers sold your kids instead of paying your tax.
Right.
But for centuries to this day,
mm-hmm.
just told this story. I mean, like, and it sounds really cool that, this guy came and he let the rats out, he didn't pay him, and then he took the kids. No, there's like a logical explanation too. But anyway, Lore Podcast is bomb. Best episode they had going. They mixed in a story about Blackbeard, the Salem witch trials, and those folks that disappeared around Roanoke.
Oh yeah, that'll be great.
Amazing.
So we should probably I think maybe if you are listening or watching and you have some quick short stories of craziness that's happened to you, whether it's ghost stories, paranormal activity, things that you've seen that you know are like crazy, we won't judge you, we promise, because next month y'all are going to be judging us for all the things we have to say. We believe in all of that. Like we
believe in all of that.
There's some shit. Yeah, there's some shit that I think we all believe that science can't like logically put like numbers and letters on. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's got to be something else that's out there. I think there's different dimensions and all that stuff. But if you have stories, send them in like you've been doing with our questions. We'll ask again on our Instagram and Facebook. If you want to send us like any questions about stuff in the paranormal or things like that, please do that also. If you are listening to us for the first time or watching us for the first time on YouTube, I don't know what they're doing right now, but if you're on a platform for podcasts, make sure you subscribe. We have lots of new episodes coming in for the next, like, I don't know how long we're going to do this, but our YouTube channel, if you're watching, please I can't even concentrate because they're dancing in the screen. Please comment, like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you get our new episodes. Every episode is live every Thursday, noon Central Time. I try to get it out on time. I really do. Is there anything else you guys have to say about friendship?
I was going to sing a song, but I don't want to give you more trouble.
Oh my God.
Oh,
just keep,
gosh.
I would say just keep it real, keep it authentic,
Keep it real.
be yourself. And if they don't like you, then they probably ain't supposed to be your friend anyway.
They don't like you. Shout out to Drake. Oh, well, fuck them, dog.
Hey!
That's what he said. Shout out to Aubrey.
No. Oh my God. But anyways, well then on that note, I think we through. Stay blessed. Have a good day or night. We'll check you out next week with our spooky stories.
Yeah!